Hey guys, Fight Kitties here. I'm Lady J.
And I'm Lexi, and it's time for Kickass and Coffee.
All right, we have a lot of wrestling news to cover. And yes, I'm a little bit under the weather, but the news must go on.
Yes, so let's just get started with some Fight Buzz.
All right, we have a potential spoiler on a surprise entrant for the WWE Royal Rumble match. Fightful Select, they reported that several wrestlers...
They're under the belief that Asuka will make her return at the Royal Rumble for a match. This is really exciting.
I gotta kill you right now. It's Asuka.
Asuka.
I know. You're thinking like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell you.
Asuka.
Star Wars nerd.
That's a cool name.
It is.
Asuka.
Okay.
Well, anyways, she's been confirmed, and she's pretty much been on the sidelines since WWE's like Money in the Bank way back in July.
I know. I was wondering, who is Asuka anyways?
And last August, she actually took to Twitter to note that the reason she wasn't featured was because WWE like didn't have like too much like creative things for her.
That's terrible. We don't know what to do with you, so we're gonna do nothing with you. They got like a room of writers.
That's a lame excuse. Yeah. It's a poor excuse.
Yeah. And then Becky Lynch has given her thoughts on the Ronda Rousey making her return.
Yeah, and she's got a lot to say. I mean, Lynch beat Rousey and Flair in the main event on WrestleMania 35, which marked Rousey's last match.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she took some time off. She started a family, and I mean, Rousey did give birth to her baby daughter back in September of 2021.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she has been confirmed to return for the Royal Rumble, which is really exciting.
I'm excited to see her come back in.
Yes, and a match between her and Lynch would be like the biggest match ever. I mean, it would be crazy. WWE that would be like the biggest one in the women's division.
We will be watching.
Yes.
We will totally be watching.
And speaking of Royal Rumble...
Dude.
We've got Braun Strowman, who is back, and he's returning for the men's Royal Rumble.
Are they going to call him Braun Strowman, or are they going to call him Adam Scherr? Like,
I don't know.
Like,
I'm
is he
very
going to come in as like the Titan, right? I would like to see him come back as the Titan.
That would be exciting. And PW Insider reports that Dakota Kai, Io Shirai, LA Knight, and Roderick Strong are all slated to be at this Friday's SmackDown.
Oh, dang.
Yep.
Wait. I think Leah's coming up too.
Really?
Yeah, about time. She's been in NXT for a while. And so they've been working some dark matches. And yeah.
Yeah, I
Good
mean,
for them.
there's some speculation that Strong could be on his way out of the company, actually.
Well, his girl, Marina Shafir, is already out. She's been doing AEW dark matches too. And they have like a pro wrestling tee store.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest giveaway. Ooh, they have a pro wrestling tee shop now.
Which I saw the shirts and I'm like, oh, they're actually kind of cute.
The free Roddy and free Eddie.
Yeah. And Strong has been on quite of a losing streak on TV. I mean, he dropped the NXT Cruiserweight title to Carmelo Hayes at New Year's Evil, and then he lost a match to Gunther. I'm sorry. Not Gunther.
Walter.
I'm confused. It's Gunther, it's Walter, then it's not Gunther. Just keep it one name. Walter. Combine that with the WWE wanting to push like much younger stars in NXT. I mean, Strong being like older, and you know, fans are kind of concerned that he's not going to come back.
I hope he goes on to bigger and better things.
Yes. And he did actually sign a new contract early in 2021. So that would mean that contracts are usually for like, what, a year?
Some of them are for 3
Some of them are for 3. So if it's for 3, then he's locked in until 2024.
Dude, I'm so confused. We're going to have to follow this story a little more.
He's also a Triple H hire.
Oh, and everyone who's been a Triple H hire has been let go.
Yeah, so people are like, what is going on? So we got Dana Brooke, who spoke with Matthew Connell of Alternate Sports for an interview. And she was basically asked, like, who'd she love to see face to face coming down the ramp towards her. She says Charlotte Flair.
They used to have like this weird like little sister, oh, you're so dumb, little sister kind of thing going on. And Dana Brooke's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, she says like she used to like boss her around and like degrade her. And so she feels like she's got something to prove at this point. So she wants to go for a face-to-face, you know.
I would like to see a fresh match.
Yeah, and you know, Charlotte's motivated her and hasn't gotten the chance to show like what she's capable of. So, I mean, it'd be a really cool match.
Oh yeah, you go, Dana.
Yes, you go. And we got John Skyler, who reveals that AEW paid for his 7-month injury. He wasn't even contracted with them.
Like, he broke like every ACL, MCL, whatever the
BCL,
other BCL.
whatever the hell.
Like, yeah, he wasn't contracted. And like, I guess him and Statlander like both busted their knees at the same time.
Yeah, and they went to go get MRIs together. Can you imagine? You're like,
dude,
hey.
my knee. Oh, your knee too? Yeah, funny.
Turns out they found out together like they were going to be out for like a long period of time.
Oh, that has to suck.
Which sucks. Like they said that he was going to be out 8 to 9 months.
That's like forever for a wrestler.
Yeah. And so basically they gave him like medical treatment from AEW and he was done in 7 months. He was recovered.
Okay, so like that's been like the scandalous part of like how UFC doesn't take care of the medical bills because they're independent contractors.
Yeah.
And then you have like AEW doing it. It's like,
It's crazy how you see like the different companies, like how they treat their employees. I mean, they did that during 7 months during a pandemic. And somebody that wasn't even like, didn't have a contract with them.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. Like 2 days ago, we were just discussing that MLW
and
has
their crappy contract.
their crappy contract of like, what was it? Like
$14,000 for 3 years.
ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, just very different kinds of companies.
Oh, dude, which leads us into the morning jab.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. So, MMA news, UFC president Dana White, he had this like abrupt exit from the Honda Civic Center after the Francis Ngannou huge UFC 270 title retention, and the public noticed his absence.
And like White, he took into no post-fight festivities, which is really rare.
Yeah, especially when it's like your main eventer. It's like, how can you not be there? I mean, unless you freaking got shot or something. And so like, yeah, social activists are like on this like White on rice.
So King went to Twitter, because that's just like the only place that you go, and says that it's wildly disrespectful that happened at UFC, saying that the UFC account was ordered not to tweet a single highlight during the fight as every other fight was.
Dude.
Like, what is that about? And then Dana White refused to put the belt on Ngannou and refused to attend the press conference. Like, it's very strange. I don't really know the thinking behind it.
You're like, people notice that. People see that. It's like people see when like, you know, you do the right thing and then when you don't do the right thing.
Especially when it's something that you do with multiple people and then you just stop. It's like, what? There has to be some sort of reasoning behind it.
Yeah, it doesn't look good there. The optics are all bad.
Yeah.
And so, let's see.
MMA Hour is basically saying that like Francis Ngannou was scheduled to defend.
This was such a hot mess.
Yeah, he was scheduled to defend the heavyweight title against Cyril Gaines.
So he got an email like right before the match saying that like they were going to sue him because someone else in his party was in contact with the Jake Paul party, and they're like, we're going to sue you. And he's like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm going into a match and you're over here threatening to sue me. And then like they've also had this like contentious contract battle where like Ngannou is saying stuff like, I put like $7 million, like I let it go because I want to have some freedom in my contract. So like they have these independent contractor contracts, which means, you know, you're not an employee, you don't get benefits, and you're not supposed to like work exclusively for one person. You have the freedom to work elsewhere.
Yeah.
But that apparently is not the case with the regular UFC contracts. And Ngannou's like, I want to be able to do other things like box.
Yeah.
And so, Yeah.
That's a big deal. I mean, I don't really understand. It's like I said, the difference between how UFC and seeing how like AEW is like treating their employees, it's like wild. And if you guys didn't know, Francis was like literally fighting with an MCL tear and a damaged ACL. Like he was recovering from knee surgery. So
oh no, he's supposed to get it.
Or he's supposed to get it.
The doctor was like, you shouldn't fight. You need to take care of that knee. And like he won with like a messed up knee and that nasty email. And there's some nasty Twitter tweet of whatever before too. I'm like, dude, he's got some weight on his shoulders and he still won the match.
Yeah, so if anything else, he definitely is going to need that knee surgery soon.
I know.
Oh. But due to the champions clause in the deal, Ngannou like won't actually, like you said, he won't become a free agent until December of 2022. So he's still got like, he's got like 11 months. And so he can't do anything else, can't go anywhere else, which is like so annoying. And he stated that his demands aren't based solely around finances, but he just wants like freedom, be able to operate and like do what he wants, which I feel like is fair as an independent contractor. Sure. You know, which is like, that's how UFC designates all of their athletes in the organization rather than employees. So it's just like, you know,
you can't have it both ways.
It's a hot mess overall. It's just like such a mess. And we haven't heard enough of the Paul.
Yeah, this ties into this like hot mess too. So Tuesday morning, Jake Paul announced on Twitter, of course, that he has invested in Endeavor, which is like the parent company that owns UFC.
Yes.
So him and Jeffrey Wu have the intent of driving change from within the company.
Yeah.
And like they're going to use their ownership to like convince fellow shareholders, like because they get in on these meetings now, convince the fellow shareholders and management to do the right thing, which is a really hot topic right now, and you know, provide better fighter pay, healthcare, and championing like the women's division of the sport.
So it seems like everyone's fighting for their rights. They're like, hey,
the most ultimate good Karen move.
Yeah.
I want to speak to your manager. I'm gonna own your manager. Dang it.
I didn't even realize that if they bought like a share, they would be able to
I mean, it can't just be one share. Like it must have been like a huge investment.
Oh yeah, that's quite crazy. Moving on from all of this absolutely wild news, we've got some fluffy news. This is really exciting.
Dude, I was like, shut the front door. Shut the front door.
So Cris Cyborg, she's releasing a video on Friday of like the secret fight.
We were talking about the secret fight.
Yes, and while we were talking about the secret fight, she actually commented on our video.
I don't even get it.
I don't know how she must have like typed in her name because that was like the title of our video. But she basically was like, I love the coffee cups.
And you were like, heck yes, come have some coffee.
Yeah, we were totally not fangirling.
No,
not at all.
Or as the wrestlers say, marks.
And Paige, who's like a great leader of the Wrestleverse, she was like addressing people because they were attacking AEW and on Twitter. Because, you know, why wouldn't people attack on Twitter? That's just what happens. But she basically was like, stop criticizing everything that you see and just enjoy wrestling.
Yes, and just like, you know, take it to the ring. We are here to celebrate and enjoy the Wrestleverse.
And she actually made a really good point. She's like, with the amount of like companies and events that are out there, the fact that wrestling is still like in the high charts and it's like doing so well, that should be something that's exciting and like celebrated and appreciated. So, you know, it's really crazy to see where wrestling is at today.
I love how Paige is like being all nice, and then freaking Adam Scherr like, I'm gonna make you trolls cry. It is my new job now.
Well, I mean, if anyone's mean to her after that tweet, I'm sure he'll go in there and say a piece or two.
You mean Paige, I'm gonna make you cry.
And Nick Khan recently had an interview with Sports Business Journal where he says that many companies have made offers to buy WWE, but WWE is not looking to sell right now.
Is it because they already have a secret deal? Where are our tinfoil hats?
I don't know. It could be. I mean, it was mentioned that WWE has had some big media deal cuts, like including their $1 billion streaming deal with Peacock and like a multi-part documentary of the life of Vince McMahon.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, and that has like Bill Simmons as the executive producer. So these are all things that I didn't even know of until yesterday. So this is pretty exciting news.
Very complicated.
Yeah, it's like stirring the pot. And on this week's My World with Jeff Jarrett, he discussed his recent match with Effie.
The people of GCW are not happy about that match.
No. He says that Effie is like the most marketable talent. And he's like,
it's that big gay brunch. He does it every time.
Yeah. And he says that he like connects with the audience, and that even though he's not like a seasoned vet, he knows what he's doing in the ring. So he gave props to him. Of
course, Jeff would seriously that. He's like so much older. He's been there forever.
And he says that he's shocked as a promoter, a booker, a marketer, all around. He's just amazed. He was like boasting him. Yeah. It's like wearing it as a hat. And now we've got some Keeping It Strong style.
All right. So New Japan Pro Wrestling has released a new t-shirt to support and assisting the country of Tonga, which was totally ravaged by this like insane underwater volcano that like recently exploded with more force than like the atomic bombs used during World War II. Okay, no, hold on just a second. So Grandma D follows this guy on YouTube, of course. And he's always showing like the seismic activity around the freaking planet. I'm like, Mom, yes, there's like the Earth's crust. We're from California, so we know all about like the San Andreas fault line and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, there's, magma moving and stuff happens. It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
And like before, she was like, look what happened. And I saw the video. I'm like, it looks like a freaking nuclear bomb went off.
It was wild. I could not believe that was a volcano.
It was like an underwater volcano. And she's like, oh my God, everyone in California, there's going to be like a tsunami that goes over to the Pacific coast. And it was kind of like the water moved.
Baby tsunami.
And then I'm like, oh crap. Like, I know this guy's weird that you follow, but this totally went down.
Yeah.
And like, so it's nice that New Japan is like raising money for the people of Tonga, and there's a lot of really good wrestlers from there. So
yeah, I think that's really sweet that they did that. And like you said, like the San Andreas fault that you were talking about, that kind of stuff always freaked me out because it's like at any moment that this stuff could happen. It's just like inevitable. Like nobody knows when it'll happen, and like
all those beautiful mountains came from somewhere.
True. I love the mountains here. It's so damn flat. And be sure to catch the New Japan Strong Nemesis episode featuring Jay White and Christopher Daniels. So that'll be really exciting.
That'll be a good episode to watch.
Yes, so stay tuned for that. And I think that's all we've got for today.
It was a full episode.
Yeah. It was. We got a lot of exciting news. We've got some Twitter battles, which got some Karen moments. We've got some butt kissing moments. And thank you guys so much for watching.
I had fun.
I did too.
I know I'm not 100%, but like we must power through.
Yes, that's okay. Because yesterday I was like I did not look like this yesterday. I was not having it.
I mean, I figured if Pink can still sing the national anthem with a throat lozenge, then I can totally do the fight news.
Yes.
Lozenge.
So please take a moment to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe.
And for more Fight Kitties videos, click the link below.
Yep. And until next time, I'm Lexi.
And I'm Lady J.
Bye.